live. Never done this before. Sunday night after chores. I'm hauling loads here behind me. Let's see. Yeah, that didn't work too well. But whoever pops up in here, throw in some questions. It's been a long first crop here, so we're almost going on 2 weeks. The weather hasn't been cooperating for us. Let's see. Ask some questions here. Looks like there are a few people popping in. It's been tough to put videos out the last few days. I've got a couple in the works yet, but I figured I'd maybe give this live thing a try. Hello, Bruce. Hello, Janet. That is my fiance. You're probably laughing at me right now for going live, but why not? I think it looks like there's 5 people in here. We'll see how long this goes on. Got a little bit of time yet before I got to get out and change. But looks like it's almost empty. How many people does it typically take to get your hay done? We can do it with 2. It's nice to have 4. Typically Dad in the chopper, me and my great uncle hauling loads and merging, and my grandpa cutting hay. So let's see, 25 people watching, is that true? Throw up some questions here. It's kind of loud. Alright, time to throttle it down. It's the bagger tractor, it's in neutral. It's getting pushed along by the feed. And now I'm off to get another load. Have we seen impacts from the Canadian wildfires? I think that's what's causing all this goofy weather that we're having. been gloomy, not much sun the last couple weeks, not very warm, unexpected rain showers popping up here and there, east winds. I don't know. You'd think after a few years they'd have it figured out how to control a fire, but they've got a lot of forest out there, I guess. What else do you want to know? Back to the field we go. Are we using the silos? No. If you're asking about the rented farm, if you've watched some of the videos, those guys did not use the silos at the end. We put up a bag over there already. We're making a haylage bag at home right now. Stay tuned to see that video of the first bag being made, hopefully in a couple days. What else? There is a bunker over there for corn silage, so we're gonna fill that, but we'll probably make a couple bags of corn silage too. But I never have had any experience with silos, but my dad and uncle said that they hated them, and easier to throw some plastic on our bagger, which we own, so might as well use it. And it's just a lot faster to feed out of the bag instead of waiting for silo unloaders. If that answers your question. Maybe you run silos. I know they make good feed, but I don't like heights, and if we did film, I'd probably be told that I'm the guy that would have to go climb to change the doors and do the maintenance on the unloaders and chip away frozen feed in the winter, which doesn't sound very fun to me. That's where we milked cows up until 2 months ago for many, many years. We do have heifers on pasture now. They're using the up on the hill there. I don't know if you can see them very well, but get another load. I don't know if we get nice weather. The co-op has their sprayer parked by one of our fields. We've gotten some of our corns post-sprayed already, but we've got probably 2/3 of it yet to go at least. This field we took cornstalk bales off of last fall and hauled a lot of manure on it throughout the winter, so hopefully we get a good crop on that. Let's see. Ask some questions, guys. You were for the bagger in the bunker. Yes, we agree. I understand why people still use silos and stuff, but I think a Versa bagger makes really, really good feed. And if some of you have been watching for a while, we did have loose housing at home that included a bunker. But once we started doing TMR, it became a little tough to fill and feed the bunker when we expanded the barnyard. This is before my time. Sorry, guys. A little bumpy out, but there's Dad chopping. We've got 3 wagons, but about maybe 15 years ago, we put a roof on that thing for loose housing for switch cows, and that worked really, really well in the winter. And in the summer, we kept corn stalk bales and hay in there for bedding and feeding. This field is in its, let's see, third year, so it's new seeding in 2021. We've got the quick hitches here. Looks like Dad parked that one right next to the road. Thank you to the 9 people that are actually watching this. I don't have too much of a following on this app yet, or I don't know if I ever will. I probably should have got active on YouTube a few years ago before it grew. How do I like the H&S wagons? Oh, didn't get squared up right. I like them. We had the Gale with a couple H&S wagons a few years ago, and I know that Gale doesn't make them anymore, obviously. Not many companies still do. I don't know if it's just Meyer or H&S that are still making them, but we've got 2 twin augers, which can be problematic if the haylage gets too dry, and then we've got a 7+4 apron unload wagon that I just unloaded. The flighting, sometimes you just gotta keep the gap tight so that haylage doesn't pack on the front. Dad can unload or load wagons pretty full with dry haylage with the 7+4 apron wagon because it's not going to get stuck. Sometimes if he can't see in the sun, the twin augers you have to get a pitchfork and shovel them out, fork them out quick. If I had it my way, I'd probably trade in the 2 twin augers for a 7+4 with a drop-down extension on the apron. But for corn silage, I mean, they unload even. Let's see. What moisture level are you aiming for? Honestly, we don't really run moisture tests. It goes by feel, but anywhere between probably 45 and 55% ideally. This crop, I think we're probably all over the board, anywhere from probably 25 to 60. You guys will see in the next video that I put out that last Sunday we were chopping. We had a lot of hay down, hoping for a really, really good day. And on Monday it was hot, almost 90 degrees. And we had a chopper breakdown on our like 3rd load. Bearing went out on the cross auger on the chopper. We had to wait until Monday to get that fixed, and that was just an absolute nightmare trying to chop that. We were getting about, by the end of the day, the wagons were maybe getting a 1/3 of the way full. So that wasn't very pleasant to chop and unload those, and the blower was just sputtering the hay out. We got a quick shot of rain Monday night, and it stayed dry enough. Or the feed we put in at the end of the bag probably was a little bit wetter on that first one than we wanted, but we wanted to get it done, and we didn't go home for breakfast after chores Tuesday morning until about noon, but we did get the bag done. So a bunker would be nice in that sense that you could blend all that and it would be even coming out, but when we get to the dry stuff, if my uncle has to add water, we add water. Yeah, honestly, I don't know much about a Miller Pro wagon other than I haven't really seen too many of them around here, but I know in Wisconsin, I think those are really, really popular. I don't know if I remember correct, did Miller Pro get sold? I don't know. We have a Miller Pro one row merger, but we haven't used that at all in first crop just because the hay is so thick and the weather's been super, super finicky, and we haven't had as much help so far. But I mean, you can't go wrong with an H&S. They're pretty reliable, I'd say. I think we've had 2 of these for maybe, let's see, we got them slightly used maybe 3-4 years ago, and then we've had one of them for probably close to 15, and then we had 2 smaller ones that we just traded in for the 2 newer ones that we got that I think were like 2001s or 2002s or something like that. So, but I'm gonna get everything rolling here. There are a lot of small farms in our area yet. Depends on what you want to call a small farm. I don't know what you would classify us as. I'd say yes, but I don't know what to compare it to. Quite a few 100 to 200 cow dairies around our area yet. A couple 50 cow dairies not too far away. A couple in that 300 to 400 range, and maybe a couple close to that 1,000 range. A lot of guys have a few beef cows and work day jobs and trying to make that thing work. They're probably doing pretty well right now with they sell feeders in the fall. A few small guys making it work with older equipment on the grain side of things. I don't know how well that answers your question there. Let's see. How have we liked being in the new barn? Are we settled in? Yeah, we're pretty settled in. Took a little bit for the older cows to get used to laying in the stalls and going in the parlor and stuff, but that's expected. Older cows are stubborn. They don't like change. A few cows that laid in the alleys, we tried all we could to get them to lay in the free stalls, and they just would want to lay in the alleys, and they broke down, and we eventually had to get rid of them. And, that was expected, that there would be a few cows that wouldn't transition well. We knew that going in, but pretty pleased with the production increase, and it's pretty enjoyable, at least seeing that the cows are comfortable, and they got fans blowing on them when it's warm, so I can't complain about that. Running it a little heavy right now. I know this isn't best practice, but I'm going to turn the PTO off and let the rotor catch up on the bagger. I don't have the brakes on too hard on this thing since we're bagging uphill, and it's rather on the drier side, so it is packing pretty decent. But I think the moisture is pretty good on this stuff. I'm in the Puma 185. Had this tractor. I think this is the 4th year we've had it. Had it used. Had a good buddy and his family. They had it before us. And then we got MX 150 on the bagger. I don't know what year this is. Maybe a 97 or 98. I'm not sure. But I think that one just eclipsed 10,000 hours a couple years ago. It was the planter tractor when we had the 6-row, but that's already been 7 years since we had that. Got the tires narrowed back out. Let's see, or widened back out, I should say. Pretty much bagger. She works some hard hours. Bagger, you pretty much running hard the whole time it's on, and then let's see, bale processor in the winter to bed corn stalks, and then let's see, Hall's manure. That's about it. I'm not too big a fan of that tractor myself. I like the Puma and the 7220 personally. My two favorite tractors. I like the 235 too, but sometimes it just feels a little too big, too tall. Let's see. Thank you, Owen, for watching the videos. What do you grow in southwestern Ontario, if you farm? Let's see, 11 people still watching. What else to talk about? We've had brown Swiss since 1951. My grandpa bought a registered calf for a 4-H project, and he fell in love with them, and that's been our primary focus ever since. He dabbled for a while. I shouldn't say dabbled. He was pretty serious in the milking shorthorn game for a while. Showing. We don't really show anymore. I showed in 4-H, but that was about it. But did well at open shows at state fairs across the upper Midwest, and showed at World Dairy Expo. But we still like to have nice looking cows. I love brown Swiss. We also have 3 females on the farm that are still traced back to my grandpa's first calf that he bought, which is pretty cool. Sorry if I'm boring you guys. I was maybe bored myself, so that's why I hopped on here. Oh, nice jerseys. Honestly, I'd probably honestly rather milk a herd of jerseys than Holsteins. So I wouldn't have said that before I went to college, but NICC, where I went to school, Northeast Iowa Community College in Kelmer, they had a Jersey herd. They had about 60 to 65 of them, and they had them on a single robot, and then they had Holsteins too. But last summer they sold the Jersey herd. But doing class and stuff in the barns, just the Holsteins were super skittish. I mean, a Jersey is a small brown Swiss, in my opinion, as far as like the tameness and friendliness. I like friendly cows. How have you guys been affected by the wildfires? Have you gotten much sun up there, or weird weather patterns? Do you combine your wheat and use the straw to bed your cows or feed, or do you chop the wheat for silage? Or make baleage, either way. A little rocky where I have my phone sitting. Back on the road to get another one. This is the corn planter tractor, so that's why it's a little bit jerky, because we have the rear duals taken off of it. So it's narrowed up for 30-inch spacing for the planter. Still 10 people watching, I think. Honestly, that's fine, guys. If you want to tell me to stop, I'll stop. Or keep asking questions. I film with a GoPro for most of the videos. And I've got a drone too, a DJI Mini 2 for the drone footage. It's done pretty good for me, I'd say. It's not like the YouTube thing's a lucrative business for me, but I have made a couple $100 doing it, so it kind of supplements my time. Looks like Dad's already switched wagons. Hopefully it doesn't rain tomorrow. We can finish the bag we're on, and I don't know if the weather patterns we're having, if we'll be able to make any dry first crop, or if we'll have to wrap around bales. I'll read your response once I park here. All right, chop. Combine and bale the straw for bedding. Well, looks like we've got a neighbor that's baling hay right now. Looks like there's dust flying. I wonder if he's gonna wrap them. He's got a 215 Magnum with a Vermeer behind him. Straight ahead there. Looks like he's going pretty quick. He's had that on the ground for a while. Yes, welcome to the tractor ride. Let's see. Unhooking again. Let's see. This is a bad spot. Yeah, it's gonna park somewhere else. Any other questions before I go? Stay tuned for the videos. I appreciate, I'm sure the people that are watching probably already watched the videos, so thanks. It means a lot. Didn't really think that when I started throwing the drone footage up that I'd have that many people interested in watching, but a few of them had some success, so I figured I might as well pick up the camera and start talking to it and see what happens. And it surprised me a little bit. Some of the videos get a decent amount of views. I'm not blowing up as per se, but if there are no other questions, I'm going to go, so we'll see you.